Hi, my name's Zaza, and I'm interviewing a very, very important person, my writing teacher. I've written a book called Life in Process because of Rachel, who will be 90 in September, and that's next month. So I'm just asking Rachel a whole lot of questions because her wisdom is really, really important. My life's changed because of Rachel. Rachel, do you believe in God?
For sure.
Why?
I choose to. I choose to believe in a higher power.
How do you know? Can you feel it? Have you experienced it? Is it a thinking? Is it a knowing?
It's a knowing. You know that there's something that's larger than you. You know that I know that I have God within me, and I know I have God outside of me. I know that I'm an aspect of God, just like I know you're an aspect of God, just like I know we're all aspects of God. So I say, yes, I believe in God. Everybody of us is God.
So you know that as an experience?
Yes, that's my truth. I create my reality. I know I create my own reality.
Yeah.
I create my own reality by everything I choose to feel, think, say, and do. And I take responsibility. So my choices, I choose to believe that there is something greater than the energy of the I of me, and that when I leave my body, which will be very soon, I will join the larger energy. I will return to energy. And that satisfies my soul, to know that, to have that knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So God for you is energy, consciousness?
Energy, consciousness, choices. Mostly God for me is energy and consciousness. Pure self-consciousness and energy. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it in a nutshell.
Okay.
We play lots of roles in life. I play the role of a mother, a friend, a teacher, a yogini, a dancer. All of these are roles that I choose to play. And I put energy into any one of these roles. I also know that I'm not my body, because sometimes my body feels great, sometimes my body isn't working, but I can observe my body.
Mm-hmm.
I can observe when it's not well, and I can observe when it's well.
Mm-hmm.
So who is this observer that's observing?
Mm-hmm.
Same way with my feelings. Sometimes I'm feeling happy, elated, excited. Sometimes I'm feeling down, low, sad. But I can see myself. I can observe. I can step out of myself and be my observer self, observing me being happy or feeling sad, being sad. I can step outside of myself and observe it. When I can observe, that's the godness of me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Same way with my feelings, same way with my body, same way with my thoughts. I can see when I think clearly, and I can see when I think muddled.
Right.
So it's all pure self-consciousness.
Yeah.
I can observe me not thinking clearly.
Yeah.
I can observe me thinking, wow, that's right on. Pure self-consciousness, observing me in action in this universe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not I have a body, I'm not my body. I have a mind, I'm not a mind, my mind. I have feelings, I'm not my feelings. I play lots of roles in my life. I'm not any one of these roles. If I attach and think that this is who I am, that's my ego involved, and I get hooked. And I think that's it, but it isn't. and I step out of it and I observe myself in all of this theater that I'm creating and I take responsibility for it. That's the godness story.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sense?
Absolutely, for me, yeah. What's a negative pattern that you've had to deal with in yourself, and how did you deal with it?
I'm born September 7th. September is a Virgo. Virgos are very critical. I had to overcome my critical nature. I had to work hard on overcoming being critical.
How did you do that?
Lots of work, lots of work. I took trainings, workshops at Esalen Institute in the 70s. I read books. I had therapy. I had psychotherapy, one-on-one for 4 years. I was in therapy groups.
Did you do any emotional release work?
The strongest work I did was emotional release work. And that was the very strongest work I ever did. And that was like primal scream. It was bioenergetics work. I worked with Chuck Kelly in radix and breath work got me clear to where I could get past the blocked chakras, blocknesses that were within my psyche, within my being. But the strongest, most powerful work I ever did was the breath work, because then my head didn't be controlling it.
Right.
It was into the breathing.
So what if you hadn't done emotional release work?
I'd be a mess.
You'd be a mess.
I'd be a total mess.
So you really recommend people doing emotional release work?
No question, no question, no question. I still attend courses, Mexico City in breath work. I still do radix kind of work to this very day. I never stop learning. I never stop getting hooked into thinking I am one of those roles that I'm playing, or that I am this body, or I am my mind, or I am my thoughts. So the emotional release work gets me clear, centered, grounded.
It's really important, right?
No question.
So, growing up as you know, as a female and also just as a child, you know, our parents have one idea of who we should be and what's good for us and that, but then our nature is going in a different direction, and being human, we get blocked. And then it's a process finding, right? So what was your block, and how did you unblock?
I lived a traditional life for 54 years. I did all the things that the women of my generation did. Raised a family, got married, raised a family, went back to school, got my first degree, then went back for a master's degree, kept going to school. But it wasn't until I was 54 years old when my life took a drastic change.
Like, you know, keep up with the Joneses. You have to have certain physical image, certain fashion, certain watch certain movies, read certain books.
I did all the things that you were supposed to be doing. I fit into the average of being just like everybody else, no different.
Yeah, but you're not just like everybody else. You're 90 years old and you go dancing and you have a totally different way of living than the social norm.
I had a lot of therapy. I
Right.
had 4 years of psychotherapy. I had a lot of breath work, radix work, emotional release work.
And that freed you.
Of course, all of that work. No question. And I'm a reader.
So you just kept learning all your life.
I never stopped.
Right. And that had a big influence on you
Exactly.
continuously growing.
Continuously growing.
Yeah.
Plus, what is most important in my life is to be healthy. What's important in my life is to be alive. And while I'm alive, I have to move this body. And move is number one, to keep alive and to keep vibrant. And dance is the most sweetest way to keep alive.
Right.
Yeah,
So that's what dance does for you.
keeps me alive.
And you're
keeps me
dancing
sensuous.
now. You're still dancing.
Dancing
Yeah.
is my prayer. Dancing is my church. Dancing is the highlight of my week.
Right.
Yeah, I'm blessed, blessed, blessed. And I can dance sitting down. I can dance lying on the floor. I can dance in many different ways.
Yeah. 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 Why is gratitude important for you? And how did you get there to really be grateful? You know, there's wanting to be, there's thinking you are, and then there's really you are.
Very, very true. The gratitude awareness didn't come upon me until my later years. It came upon me when I lived in Ojai, California. And in Ojai, California, another paradise, Julia Cameron's book came out, The Artist's Way.
Yeah.
In Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way, she admonished, taught, you have to keep a journal. You have to write 3 morning pages every day. That was the 3 morning pages. Then the gratitude, how did the gratitude begin? The gratitudes came on later, they did. There was a gratitude offering series on the computer. And I signed up. And they had episodes every day on gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. I latched onto it. And I started incorporating my gratitude list into my daily journaling.
Uh-huh.
And it became a part of the most important ingredient of how I live my life today is the gratitudes.
Why?
And I learned by keeping my gratitude list, writing in that 3 pages a day in my journal,
Yeah.
I learned little by little that I had to be grateful not only for the positive things that happened in my life,
Yeah.
but also for the things that didn't seem so positive. And then I could say, well, what's the lesson? And then be grateful for the lesson. So even what seemingly is not so good,
Right.
I could say, thank you, God, thank you. What's the lesson?
Once you got the lesson, you could be grateful.
But I always can look for the lesson. I always have to look for the lesson.
Right.
So I have to be grateful whether it's good or whether it's supposedly not so good. Always.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, God, no matter what.
Uh-huh.
For truth. That's the growth.
For truth.
For truth. For my own truth.
So that's what gratitude does for you, is it? It
All the difference
shows
in my
you,
life.
it shines on you what's true.
It's the only thing in the life that's worth living is consciously. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for my health. Thank you, God, for the green trees. Thank you, God, for the sunset. Thank you, God, for the sunrise. Thank you, God, for my friend. Thank you, God, for meeting someone on the avenue who said, oh, I like the color of your hair. Thank you, God. Everything. Thank you. Thank you that my neighbor sells fresh orange juice and grapefruit juice and green juice. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, that my next door neighbor on the other side does manicures so I don't have to go far away. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, that my son lives at the beach so I can live at the beach and have a granny flat at the beach. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Constantly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Every day.
What would you say if people are, you know, going through a real hard time and are real depressed, in having bad relationship or work problems or physical problems? How could they be grateful?
They have to begin with writing their gratitude list. No way, no question. Find what to be grateful for every day. Find what to be grateful for. Grateful that I breathe. Grateful for my breath. Grateful for my family. Grateful for my income. Grateful for writing. Grateful for reading. Grateful for the library. Grateful for books. Grateful for movies.
So if people are going through a really hard time, if they turn their attention into gratitude,
life-changing.
Life-changing.
No
It's
question.
life-changing.
Life-changing.
And what would happen if somebody's, for example, tolerating abuse, being victimized all the time?
I've been there, done that. I was in a 9-year relationship. It was an abusive relationship. I was codependent in the relationship. I was a caretaker in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That was before I learned about the gratitude list. That was before I learned about the 12-step program. And the 12-step program was another seminal learning in my life.
Mm-hmm.
12-step, which I attend to this very day.
Mm-hmm.
And 12-step taught me a basic philosophy of let go, let God, have faith, give thanks and praises no matter what's happening, detach with love.
How can you detach with love when you've got a lot of emotional pain or rage or sadness?